What's up, everybody? This is Russ Dornish. I'm a youth pastor from Montana and coming at you with a daily devotion from CrossFire. CrossFire is an online faith-based community of gamers.
And we are doing these daily devotionals out of the book On the Threshold of Transformation by Richard Rohr. And we are going through day by day for our daily devotionals. And today is day 37, Hitting the Wall. Every heroic journey begins with good fanfare and wild hopes. You need that impetus to get started. In the middle of the journey, however, you begin to hit your limits. In your 20s, it feels good being the hero, putting your ladder against walls and charging ever upward, conquering this and that. By the middle of the story, heroism fails you. Maybe you realize that your ladder is leaning against the wrong wall, and as Thomas Merton said, along the way you find that you are quite an ordinary person. Maybe to accept that is your real heroism.
This is surely why Jesus' life speaks to those who have their limits. He doesn't look like the typical hero, but more like a victim, a failure by most standards, railroaded and executed in the prime of his life.
The sad thing is that most cultures praise and reward the early heroism of the first half of life and look the other way when it comes to the quiet holiness and faithfulness of actual saints in the middle of the journey.
So our first question for today, and I'll pose this towards David. What happens to my commitment as I move away from the beginning of my journey where all is bright and hopeful?
That's a good question. What happens to my commitment? This reminds me of early on in film school. There was a lecture that I went to with this film teacher, and I remember her talking about how long it takes to complete a film. That most people don't realize that a film that you're watching today, probably the very first script hit the writer's desk anywhere between 5 to 10 years ago. 7 years is kind of the average amount of time. Well, 7 years is a whole long time. I mean, they say that your friend groups change every 3 years. They say that your life interests change every 3 to 5 years. So if your friends and your life changes every 3 to 5 years and you've got 7 years to make a film, there's got to be something driving you, something carrying you through that time more than just excitement and passion. And so I think for me, the question of what happens to my commitment as I move away from the beginning of my journey, where all is bright and hopeful, is that I get a deeper sense of what is driving me, what's motivating me, beyond just the excitement of getting over a wall. There's kind of this fun, frolicky, ooh, it's very exciting, I just achieved something. But when that dies off, how do we get to our real motivational factors? What about you, Russ?
I think the big thing for me is I think your commitment really gets tested as you go on. I think that kind of determines whether or not it's really something that you are committed to. I think it's really easy for all of us to start something and be all bushy-eyed and like it says, bright and happy and hopeful that things are going to be fine and you're going to get through it. And then as time goes on, you're going to be challenged and issues are going to come up and things like that. And I think we all get tested whether or not it actually is something we want to commit to. And so I think that's kind of the direction you go as you go through that commitment cycle. And it's something you have to kind of overcome in order to get to that next stage and really finish what you're trying to accomplish. But that's it for today. That's all for day 37. Tomorrow's day 38, which is titled Tough Love. Make sure you guys subscribe and like this video and the channel so that you guys get notified when we upload our videos. Also, make sure you continue the conversation over at Facebook on Crossfire Faith and Gaming, and we will see you guys tomorrow.